Hey YouTube, how's it going? Welcome back to the video. As you can see on the screen, like blatantly in front of you, there's a new update coming to Battle Royale in MLB The Show tomorrow. You can see on the screen with the new updates, like specifically highlight the guaranteed 99 overall round, 95, 98, 90, 94, and then 85 to 89 overall rounds. And I basically wanted to do a video where I shared my thoughts on how does this change how you draft, because it certainly changes how you draft. And there's another point, I think it's in the tweet. Yeah, so it's in the top of the tweet. 2 bronze rounds are getting taken out of the draft itself, and they're leaving in the 2 commons, and we'll talk about all this in a second. But this has some very big implications for how you draft your BR team. And in this video, I want to let you guys know, I'm going to first go over again a little bit more in detail what this means for when you draft. I'm going to talk about a couple like ideal lineups you could get out of this, and then finally kind of talk about what my strategy is going to be while I draft my team. Before we get into the video though, if you guys want to drop a like on the video, as it would help me out a lot, and commenting on the video to get it out to recommended pages. If you're not subbed to the YouTube channel, subbing actually, believe it or not, helps a lot. It gets more people into the channel, more people watching videos, and I appreciate that as well. But with the commenting, you can comment right now who your favorite BR card is, just to help out if you want to. But more than anything, I want this to be a very good melting pot of ideas for people that are new to BR, experienced to BR, about how we're all going to be drafting our teams. So if you hear something I say in the video that you disagree with, please comment that below. I'm not going to get offended by anything. I really want to bounce ideas off and hear what you guys have to say about the new updates to BR, what your strategy is going to be, and I'll talk about what mine is starting off now. So again, as you browse past the main menu of MLB The Show, right when you boot in, you see that tomorrow, I mean, you'll be watching this on the 19th, so you might be watching this before the update goes live. You might be watching it after. Most of you, I imagine, you'll be watching it after. But the new Battle Royale update is adding in, as you saw in the beginning, 4 diamond rounds, including a dedicated 99 overall round specifically. Now, this is going to be very, very interesting. So if we go to BR, and we just go to, oh, I'm 3-0 with this team. Shoot. So as to not destroy the 3-0 BR team that I have, because I'm going to be playing that in the morning on my Twitch channel. If you have not followed my Twitch channel, go follow that. It's in the link in the description below. But as we're looking at on the screen right now, this is the old format of BR. There's 2 diamond rounds, 3 gold, 9 silver, 10 bronze, and 2 common. Now again, the 2 changes coming into BR is that they're taking away 2 of those bronze rounds to add them into the diamond rounds. So now there'll be 4 diamond rounds, 3 gold, 9 silver, 8 bronze, and 2 common. Now, on the surface, this might not change a lot. You might just say, I'm going to draft 4 batters, and like 4 diamond batters, 3 gold batters, 1 silver batter, then have silver and bronze the rest of the way in the bullpen. I honestly don't think that's a horrible idea, but I want to go through this video and kind of outline the many different kind of variations you can make. And also, I want to very securely outline what pitchers you definitely want to highlight to draft when you look at this new format here. So we're currently in my catalog of cards right now, but we could go into the market as we kind of move through the video here. But first of all, the first diamond round you're going to start with, I would assume every single draft is going to start with the 99 overall round right away. So what we should talk about right away is what 99 overall cards should you target, what positions should you leave alone with the 99 overall round, and who should you really be looking to go after. So right off the rip, Chipper Jones, I mean, if you've been playing this game, you know who Chipper is. I don't have to talk about the stats at all, but I do have to tell you that playing third, shortstop, and left field, I'd imagine a majority of the people watching this video have him at least at par 3 if you have Chipper Jones. So that means he has at least gold defense at third. He'll have silver defense in short and left field. If you see Chipper in your 99 overall round, I feel like you almost have to take Chipper Jones. But let's talk about some other 99s you should target too. So I'm showing the 99 overall Vlad for a reason. In BR, hitting is king, and more specifically, power is king. This Vladimir Guerrero Sr., I had a YouTube video a while ago where people made fun of me for calling it Junior the whole time, but this Vlad Sr., take a look really quick. 107 power, 112 power, just keep that in your mind. This Hunter Renfroe, this 83 overall Hunter Renfroe, for example, look at the power. 91 power versus right, 120 power versus left. You have awesome defense, you have awesome reaction. The speed is not very good. But the point remains that in BR, the number one thing that I would argue matters more than anything is the power of your bats. This mode is weird. It's on all-star difficulty. If you're kind of new to the game, you're like, why am I so excited about a card with 40 contact and 55 contact? It's because in BR, the PCI remains basically the same size for everybody. That's why this 91 overall Miguel Sano is basically the same as this 81 gold Miguel Sano, and even basically the same as the bronze Miguel Sano is. In BR, contact really doesn't matter. What you want to be looking, I mean, it matters to a degree. We'll talk about that in a little bit later on, but what matters more than anything is power. So when we're drafting for these cards, we want to be looking at power, and more specifically, tying this all the way back in the 99 overall round, what you should be looking for, number one, is, do I have a really heavy duty power bat? But we got to talk really quick about the positions you want to avoid. I just have a random team up here because I'm trying to like cycle through cards to show you for the video. But for the 99 overall position in your draft, I would avoid drafting, if you can, a first baseman. I would avoid drafting a catcher. I would avoid drafting a third baseman unless it's more than likely Chipper Jones. And I would love to use that pick on a shortstop, on a second baseman, on a center fielder. Those, like, the positions that are not very deep and that are very important defensively. So shortstop, center field, and then the corner outfield is what's really important, is like reaction more than anything. That's why if we go back to 99 Vlad here, like 99 Vlad has 77 reaction, which is pretty decent. 99 arm strength. He's a phenomenal defensive fielder for having 70 fielding. So you want to be looking at that melting pot of stats and what matters and what doesn't. And I would lean drafting a batter with this position, but let's talk about a couple pitchers at 99 overall that you should definitely take a look at. So leading off with the 99 Shohei Ohtani. So the like concept of drafting in BR, I think it's a little bit different. And now that we have 4 diamond rounds, that you could actually, if you wanted to, lean to a lot of silver, bronze, and gold cards in your lineup to bat with, and just get 4 pretty studly diamond pitchers, and Ohtani's one of them. And lest I remind you, he can also hit the ball. Ohtani's going to have that fastball that can blow past like amateurs that aren't very good at the game. Obviously, you play someone who's cracked in BR, they're going to put up runs on, it doesn't matter who you put out there. But Ohtani, he could be a pretty decent one-game starter. If we talk about the 4 diamond route, let's say you take 2 diamond starters and 2 diamond relievers. If we're going full-blown pitching, that means that Ohtani should, in theory, be ready by about the 3rd or 4th game of your BR run, and potentially earlier if you want to risk him with yellow energy just to kind of get him in there to pinch hit for maybe the next at-bat too, if you pitch him. But Ohtani's definitely someone I would consider giving a look at for sure. Really quickly, showing DeGrom. I mean, you could take DeGrom if you want to. That fastball is terrifying, but again, on BR, the pitch speed's a little bit slower than it is on ranked seasons, on like Hall of Fame or Legend, for example. So that outlier fastball, not as terrifying in BR, but if you like DeGrom, I mean, I'll tell you personally, the last thing I want queuing into a BR run is facing 99 DeGrom in like my 7-win or 8-win game. So you could definitely get some people struggling with DeGrom a little bit. Now, one of the things that I want to bring up specifically in this video is talking about like different levels of progression with guys. So we have 99 Mo. We also have 88 overall Mo. We have 95 Rob Dibble, but we also have 84 overall Rob Dibble. Now, when I talk about the 99 overall round, one of the relievers, if he pops up, that I really do think you should give some sort of a look at is this 99 Rick Gossage. He has outlier fastball. He's got a slur of a sinker, a changeup, and all of the pitches are pretty crazy. He's got 125 per 9s, which doesn't sound great for BR. It sounds awesome for ranked. It'll make the PCI smaller to a degree, but Gossage is a phenomenal reliever. But as I mentioned, he also has a 95 overall card, so you could wait until the next round. But I mean, personally, if I saw a 99 Gossage, I'm probably giving him a pretty hard look in my BR draft. So let's say your first overall pick was 99 Chipper Jones, and now we head into the 95 to 98 overall round, and this is where BR is about to get turned on its head. You could have Chipper and Mike Trout on the same BR team. You could have Chipper and Trey Turner on the same BR team. You could have 95 Dylan Betances and 99 Chipper Jones on your BR team, and the options continue to go crazy from here. This 95 to 98 overall round is going to completely change how you draft your BR team, man. It's going to add so many killer options. You could, as we talked about so far in the video, go 2 awesome pitchers so far. You could split it half and half. Personally, other than the 99s that I mentioned at the beginning when I was going over what pitches you might look at, I more than likely am going 99 overall position player and then another 95 to 98 overall position player here as well. Let's say we've had the best draft of all time and we begin with Chipper and Mike Trout in BR, and now we head into the 3rd round, which if I'm looking at here is 90 to 94 overall. So let's look at some of the options you have here. You could potentially have Mike Trout, Chipper Jones, and in my opinion, the most OP 94 overall card that I've ever seen, Connor Joe. You could have Big Bad B-Rad, Brad Miller, Mike Trout, and Chipper Jones. I mean, this is too much fun, man. You could also, as you look at the bullpen, maybe draft your first full-fledged reliever. You could look at this 94 Joe Nathan with a slider, sinker, changeup, and a pretty good fastball. You could look at the 92 overall Kendall Graveman, but as I mentioned, he also has a gold card. But this is one of the things you're going to have to start to balance when you look at this draft here. You know that Graveman has a gold card later on, but if you're like me and you've gone batter so far and you need to get somebody in the bullpen, it definitely wouldn't be a bad idea to don't pass up Kendall Graveman. I couldn't talk there. Another guy that could be an incredible problem for your opponent in BR is this 91 John Franco. In my experience, there's a lot of noobs that play BR compared to playing ranked seasons, and anybody with a screwball is going to give you a lot of fits. So I love John Franco. In my opinion, like if I see him in my BR draft, I low-key would consider picking him up. But as I'm assuming a lot of you watching the video are very big batters and you want to get another guy in your lineup, let's go look at what the lineup looks like if we've gone 3 batters in a row here. So if we're having the best draft of all time and we've gotten Connor Joe, Mike Trout, and Chipper Jones, now we head into the final diamond round, which is the 85 through 89 round, which has the most versatility that you could ever want to go with here. Except for pitching, I'll get to that in a sec. You could pick up this 89 Gary Sanchez, and I know that he has a silver card that's very good too, but like I mentioned, every little ounce of power you can get matters, and this 89 Gary is unbelievable. Another card that's also unbelievable at catcher is the Team Affinity 1 Salvador Perez. I have him parallel 5, so I have 90 power plus on both sides. If you even have him at par 1 or 0 par at all, he still is going to have 90 power versus left and 85 versus right, which at catcher is very, very important. You could also pick up the 89 overall Trey Turner, which again in BR, I would argue is just as good as the 98. So you might be like, how in the world is that possible? Like, how could a card with 70 power and 65 power be as good as a 98? So in race seasons, I would say a powerful enough power number that should get you by is anything 80 or above. I would conversely say that anything like 60, 65 and above in BR will probably end up getting you a home run. So this Trey Turner live series is just on the board of that. And another thing that I love about live series cards, I dropped my controller. Another thing that I love drafting live series cards for is the attributes that come with them. So you see Trey Turner today, for example, playing up plus 10. You definitely want to take this into account, when you're drafting these cards. You want to see who's playing up, who's playing down. And closing up here on pitching, I don't have every card in the game. I have a majority of them though. But we're looking at 85 to 89. And who are some guys you could maybe target in this round? You could look at the 88 overall Josh Hader, who has a fastball, slider, and a changeup now in his live series. He's got awesome per nines. And for some people, they have a hard time picking up his arm slot. As I mentioned earlier, if you passed on 99 Mo early in the draft, now you have 88 Mo popping up. Definitely a solid option for your bullpen. This is an interesting one. So you might not have this card. This is from very, very early in the game. If you got a lot of guys that are high velo guys and you bring in someone like Houston Street who throws 90 miles an hour, you might get a lot of people that are way out on their front foot on this card, and you might be able to trick them with it. So I like personally mixing up high velo and low velo guys, kind of giving those different looks. So Houston Street, if you have a lot of those velo guys, definitely someone good to look for. 87 accuracy, always another one. A lot of people, like me specifically, have a tough time hitting accuracy. If you see him pop up, might be a fun card to draft as well. And then finally, 87 overall, Wade Davis, cutter, sinker, fastball, decent per nines, and a knuckle curve as well. Wade Davis has always been a card I've loved in MLB The Show. Definitely someone I consider going with. But again, as we mentioned earlier, I'm more than likely gonna go with whatever live series card has the best upgrade while I'm drafting this team, unless we look at guys like Salvador Perez, for example. If Trey Turner pops up, I want to look at one more option really quick at right field in particular. You know, Aaron Judge is usually playing up all the time, so Aaron Judge in right field, I mean, this would be the craziest BR team ever. We're not even into the silver and gold rounds yet. Mookie Betts, another one. Bryce Harper, for example, playing up plus 12. He's basically like the 99 Harper right now versus righties. Versus lefties, not as great, but like I mentioned, 68 power and BR could get you pretty far. So this is the really big point that I want to hammer home. Castellanos, another awesome pick here too. A pick that I absolutely love. If you see him pop up, this 85 Tyler O'Neill. He's got a beautiful swing. He's got awesome power and an 85 overall card. He's got 82 speed, decent outfield stats, but O'Neill's definitely a W. I personally am probably going batting guys all the way through those 4 picks, unless I get some of those pitchers that I mentioned earlier. The odds of you getting those pitchers, the odds of you getting the batters that we just talked about are relatively low. We're kind of dreaming this up as a god tier draft. Let's say I get Tyler O'Neill here, and my 4 picks that I have are like a diamond outfield, and then Chipper Jones at third. And you might be like, well, what happened, man? Like, let me turn my sliders off here. Like, I had David Ortiz pop up. Why am I not drafting David Ortiz? It's because first base is so deep. So again, we talk about power. You see 125, 107. Well, just to bring up the 83 David Ortiz, I mean, he's got 92 and 87 power in his 83. You have Carlos Santana's silver card now. He finally dropped back down to silver. Thank the Lord, because I didn't like drafting him as a gold. I will love drafting him as a silver again, though. He's got an awesome swing. He could also play catcher for you too. One of the best silver cards of the year, this Edwin Encarnacion. The point is that positions that are very deep, I avoid drafting diamonds at. So first base is a position that I consider pretty deep. Catcher, it doesn't sound like it, but there's actually a lot of pretty decent gold and silver catcher cards in here. So again, talking about the diamond rounds, I would definitely look at spending that pick on like Chipper Jones if he pops up. But talking offensively, this has been a longer video than I wanted to, but I just want to close on these 4 points here. For these 4 diamond picks that pop up, I would definitely consider taking a speedy outfielder with good power, maybe like Connor Joe, maybe Mike Trout if you're lucky, Tyler O'Neill if he pops up. You want to pick up someone at some point in the draft that you feel incredibly comfortable with. I love Chipper Jones, so I want to draft him. Maybe you're like somebody else and you love Trey Turner, so you can't pass up on Trey. And maybe you love 99 overall Jackie at a position that, remember, is very, very thin at second base. And Jackie can certainly fill that void for you there. So when you're thinking about drafting, think about drafting positions that you need to fill. Like if you look at second base silver cards, for example, there's not a lot of good, so other than our sweet blessed savior Mike Moustakas, there's really not a lot of people at second base that I would be excited to start. Cesar Hernandez is not bad, but like Garrett Hampson's okay. There's not a lot of awesome silver cards. You go to the gold rounds at second base, there's obviously some pretty decent cards there too, but everybody would rather have Jackie than any of the cards I just showed you. But second base is a very thin position. Shortstop is thin. I'd argue that like maybe right field could be considered thin, but you want to definitely attack center field early, third base early. If you can, like Chipper Jones, there's a lot of deep third basemen, but if you get like a 99 overall card, you can't say no to that. And then we haven't done anything in pitching. I just want to show you really quick. Let's pretend we have the best draft ever at what a bronze, silver, and gold bullpen could look like here. So again, let's say you spent all 4 diamond picks on your lineup and you wanted to have a great bullpen. Now, obviously, this bullpen will never happen for you. If it does, you better pray to whoever your god is, because this would be an unbelievable bullpen. But even with silver, gold, and bronze cards, you can still have an awesome bullpen. Not to say you can't with diamond cards, but I would definitely lean towards putting those cards in your lineup unless you get the diamonds that I mentioned earlier. Now, if you're looking at the lineup specifically, you know that Jake Diekman is a silver card. You know that Chapman is a diamond, or a gold, a diamond and a gold now. I forgot he had the 97, so that's a whole other pinwheel in the Aroldis Chapman train there. You know that Rob Dibble's a 95. You know that Graveman has a 92. Blake Trinan only has a silver. Trevino only has a bronze, and Brusdor Gratterall only has a bronze. And Chris Sale also only has the lefty reliever card for a reliever. He does have a starter card too. But when you so you're never gonna have the perfect draft, but the best thing you can do is manage what you're doing. So if you've gone offense early and you see like a gold round pop up and you see Jake Diekman, but you also maybe see another awesome batter that you like, but you've maybe gone 4 batters in a row, you got to start filling out the bullpen. In my opinion, the bullpen is the most important part of a BR run, but I don't want to get that twisted. That does not mean you have to spend all your diamond picks on the bullpen. I'm showing you right now, I could even put a full bronze bullpen in here, to be honest with you, but you could build a very solid bullpen with cards that are not diamonds, as I'm showing you right here. Also, assuming that we haven't taken any bronzes in our lineup, I mean, we're definitely gonna have bronzes on our bench at some point, but based on our draft so far, as our theoretical draft, we would have 6 bronze rounds left. So how I would end up spending your starting rotation, I would definitely do 2 commons. I would spend 3 bronzes here as well. So then you'd be down to 3 bronzes in your lineup. The commons are gone, ideally, as I mentioned. And the golds are also gone as well. And we have a couple silver rounds left. So your lineup after this will be sprinkled in with like bronze and silver cards. So let me show you what that kind of looks like really quick. So to close, this is obviously like a dream BR team. Like, you're never going to get a team like this. If you do, can you tweet at me so I can literally like not believe what I'm seeing? But we spent all of our picks and we have an unbelievable lineup. We have Brad Miller with position versatility. As I mentioned, we want those live series upgrades whenever we can. Freddie Galvis, awesome swing. Zanino at catcher. The bench is unbelievable with bronze and silver cards. Like Yelich on your bench, dude. Could you imagine? Starting rotation doesn't matter. Bullpen's crazy. Like, this is how you build a crazy team. When I draft on my Twitch channel and on YouTube moving forward, I'm definitely going to try my best to fill out the lineup with diamonds. But again, I want to hear your guys' comments below. How did you guys like the video? What do you think I did wrong? What do you think I did right? Comment all that stuff below. I want to hear it. I appreciate you all for watching. Have fun drafting in BR. I can't wait to hear how your team looks. If you think you have an awesome team, tweet it at me. My Twitter's in the link in the description. Follow my Twitter. If you think you got an awesome draft, tweet it at me. I love to see stuff like that, so let me know. Now I will let you go. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one.